I think we might be live. I think we might be live. I think we might be live both on Facebook and on Instagram. For those of you who don't know me, I am Candace Harper, Love Coach, and I am going live probably for the next month, every Monday through Friday. And I am addressing both Instagram and Facebook right now. This is the first one, so figuring out all the tech and if this is going to be the actual time. There's a lot of details to work out. We're going to see how it goes. I can tell you right now, you're going to be catching me between yoga class and menopause hot flashes, all of that good stuff. It's going to be very casual. I just want to like sit down, have a quick 15-minute chat with you. We have a theme all this week. We're going to be talking about embracing your dating journey, right? So we can flip it around and have it be what we want it to be. On Instagram, I see, hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Carolyn. It's good to see you. So, today we're going to talk about embracing your worth. And this is going to be all about the build up to my live class in January, Hack the Dating Apps, because I am going to teach you how to hack the dating apps. So, for those of you who do not know, I help exceptional Black and Brown women get into loving relationships with emotionally intelligent men. Yes, they do exist. They do exist. You just got to know how to recognize them and how to attract them. And so that's what I'm going to be teaching you to do in these next, I don't know, 4 weeks, I'd say. I see, Elizabeth, you're saying that you can't hear me. I'm not sure why, my sweetheart. I don't know what that's about. I'm not great with the tech. And, like I said, this is our first one, so hopefully I'll figure it out. Let me know if it does start to come in. Let's see. Send a request to be in my live video. I'm gonna let you come in a little bit later at the end. Maybe I'll do a little Q&A. But I don't know why you can't hear me. Hopefully, I don't know. Let me see. Mike. Oh, nope. That's muting. Anyway, Elizabeth, let me know if the sound comes in. Just keep me posted. Right now, I'm going to make sure to keep going because I'm not sure what's going on with the live on Facebook. And I want to make sure that if they can hear me, if you can't hear me, we'll work it all out. Anyway, and if you're on Instagram, read my lips. Come to Facebook in case you can't hear me. Hi, Melinda. I see you in Instagram. So let's talk about it. Embracing your worth, embracing your value, understanding what your value actually is in dating. I think that's a big problem a lot of us have, that we don't really understand what it is. Let's start with what it is not. Here is what is not your value when it comes to your dating life. Your bank account, how much money you have, um, just how your financial number, whatever. That is not your dating value. It's very valuable in life, right? It's a very important thing, but that is not what makes you valuable in dating. Good morning, Precious, my sweetheart. Your social or your professional cachet. So it's wonderful. Whatever you've accomplished in your career and, whatever circles that you move through, all of that stuff is great. Not to take any of that away from you, especially if you've worked very hard to be where you are. But that has nothing to do with your dating value, your relationship value, when you want a healthy relationship, right? It does if status and all of that stuff is very important to you and that's why you want to be in a relationship, is because you want to create more status. But really, that's not what my tribe's about. So I know that if you're here, what you're about is creating a healthy, loving relationship. It's great if you have social and professional cachet, not your value in dating. Your age. Your age. We get so caught up in, being over the hill. You get to a certain age, you think that you're not, dateable anymore, or the assumption that because you're young, you're valuable when it comes to dating and getting into a healthy, loving relationship. Has nothing to do with your value in a relationship. Your fertility has nothing to do with your value in a relationship. Now, we can go into a whole long conversation about, if you're younger and you're looking to get married and you want to have kids, the person who's going to marry you, of course, they would value your fertility. But what we're talking about is creating a healthy, loving relationship, right? And so while that has its place, that is not what makes you valuable to another person. That is not what makes another person love you, right? Your physical attractiveness. Yes, you get more numbers when you have a pretty face. There's no doubt about that. But we're talking about quality. We're not talking about quantity. And we're talking about what makes you valuable. Your physical looks do not make you valuable except for the moment that you have them. And some of us have a longer moment than others, but the moment is not lifelong. The moment is not consistent enough to make you valuable in a long term and sustainable relationship. So let's talk about what does make you valuable? What does make you worthy? Because all those other things, if someone is looking to value you for those things, they're not looking to love you. They're looking to use you as a means to their own end. So let's talk about those things that do actually make you valuable. What your worth actually is as a human being. And what it is it's an elixir. It's a combination of things, right? A combination of things that make you special. And no, it's not, there's a lot of people that, have the same skills that you have and, all of that stuff. But number one, it's three things mainly, right? And I'm going to give you the general overview because I want you to come to the class to get clear and specific about how we navigate these things. But this is the general overview of what makes you valuable in dating. So number one, knowing and understanding what you value at your core. Like having a clear understanding, knowing what are my core values, what's most important to me. Now, I wrote some notes, like some examples. So, spirituality, family, creativity, growth, health, financial stability, compassion, philanthropy. These are things that we won't live without whether or not we are in a relationship, right? These are our core value things. And sometimes we don't know these things. We just kind of live into them, or, we might talk about that that subcategories within those things are important to us, but we're not conscious of it. What makes you valuable in dating is having that consciousness, knowing what is a core value for me, what is most important for me. And why that makes you valuable is because it's like a North Star. It clears you up for who you want to even partner with, right? Even in friendships, even with other family members. When you know what's important to you, when you know what's valuable to you, it gives you a lot of clarity about how you move when it comes to relationships and socially. And so you want to define those things for yourself. That's the second thing. Like define those things, because spirituality for me might be very different than spirituality for you. Spirituality for me might be, having an altar and meditating and doing yoga. And for you, it might be sitting in the pew every Sunday. And there's nothing wrong with any of it. It's just knowing and being clear about what that is. What has you closer to a God source. If you don't believe in God, has you closer to humanity, whatever it is that brings you to peace and a knowing and knowing who you are, and alignment, right? So define that for yourself. Consciously define that. What does it mean to you? Things like family, creativity. For creativity, I know for me, creativity means all the different ways that I know how to express myself, whether it's that I'm crocheting or I like to paint, I like to sing around the house, I like to do a lot of different things that just express how creative I can be, like making up lyrics, whatever it is. It's not always about trying to have some big career around it. It's just being creative, right? I love to cook, I love to be expressive in the kitchen, I love to be expressive in the bedroom with my partner. Like all of those things are, specifics for how I align with creativity. And you want to define those things for yourself. What are the specific things that I do in order to align with this core value of creativity? And then the third thing is the alignment, right? The alignment with our core values. Because a lot of times we know things are important to us. Like we'll say family is important and we're steady, not speaking to somebody in our family, right? So that's out of alignment with what we say is important. I had a client the other day, she said, love was one of her core values, and love is acceptance. Love is unconditionality, right? And so, she was saying how love is a core value, but she's currently in a living situation where, she was like, and it's not a romantic living situation where she had a lot of judgments about that other person. So I was like, well, how can you align with love? And trust me, I'm somebody who's had many bad roommate situations. But how can you align with love? How can you get aligned with your core values? Not to be nice and not to pretend like things are not what, but love. Like, sometimes love is just telling the truth. Sometimes love is just being in acceptance of somebody else's stuff, letting people be who they are. Sometimes love is, having conversations that end a conflict, right? And just agreeing to disagree sometimes, which that's not my favorite thing in this political climate, but we're not even going to go there. That's a whole nother discussion. So those are the three things, right? Like, and when I'm aligning, I have to think about like what specific actions, behaviors, and consistent practices that I engage in that show that I am aligned with what is most important to me, right? It show me. It's not even about showing anybody else, but I want to always be practicing alignment with what is most important to me. So, um, like if compassion is a core value, how are you compassionate? Do you rescue animals? Do you volunteer your time with a service organization? Just get clear, super clear about all of that stuff, because that is what makes you valuable in dating, and that is the way that you embrace your worth, embrace what makes you worthy. It's all in your core values. So knowing, defining, aligning. That's the most important thing today. And that's it for today, my sweethearts. I promised, but I wasn't going to keep you for a very long time for these lives. I'm going to do them. This is the first week. I'm going to do them today all the way till Friday, every day at 10 a.m. I might change the time next week depending on how it goes because I'm going to do a little traveling this week too. So we'll see how it all works out. Make sure that if you're watching this later that you comment down below. I want you to comment down below what are your core values, what, at least 3 core values that you're very clear on, that it's very important to you. It was, and Precious asking, knowing, aligning, assigning, knowing, defining, and aligning. Thank you for asking that question, Precious. Because that, if you're asking for clarity, that means other people be asking for clarity. So knowing, defining, and aligning, right? I know what's important to me. I define it for myself because it's different for everybody. And then I align with it. I'm practicing it every day. That's what makes me valuable to the person that is my person, the person that aligns with me. So this is how you embrace your worth, right? Embrace your worth. Love it. We're working towards unconditionality with ourselves, right? Self-knowing, self-loving. And so when you're watching this later, comment down below. Precious, you can comment down while you're here. Melinda and Elizabeth, if you're still here on Instagram, please feel free in the comments. Just comment 3 core values. 3 core values and how you're aligning with it. And I see you say, I can do this easily in my career and life, relationships, not so much. Well, that's what we're here for, my sweetheart. So you're going to stick with me. Now that you've stated that, you're going to stick with me all week long. Because I promise you, especially if you decide to enroll in the class, you're going to be able to do this like a master. It's much easier than you think it is. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about overcoming dating app fatigue. Because let's face it, I know that y'all are tired out in these streets. And when you are on the dating apps, I've been on the dating apps, and I was on the first round of being on the dating apps was before they were actually officially apps, like AOL Instant Messenger. And then I was in the Plenty of Fish realm when that came around. And, I eventually met my person on Facebook dating of all, and everybody hates Facebook dating because it's the free one, and there's definitely a lot of shit in the pool. But when you know what I'm going to teach you, you will find your person on any app that you're, and I've been on many of them. Like in the times that I was on the apps or dating, I would always do several of them. So you will know how to find your person on any particular app. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about overcoming the fatigue and why the fatigue is even happening. I'm not going to go into it today because it's tomorrow's topic, but we will get into why you're even feeling the fatigue. And I know you think it's because, men ain't shit and that's what's out there and you're tired of running in. And that's part of it. That's part of it. But we're going to get into it tomorrow. I'm here all week, every week gearing up for the live class in January. I'll teach you how to craft a dating profile that does the vetting for you so that you can connect directly with your person. Now, if you want to go ahead and start jumping in, feel free. Like if you want to go ahead and get registered for the class, just go to bit.ly, hack the dating apps. I'll also put that link in the post after after I'm done being live. And then also I have a dating profile quiz. If you haven't taken the quiz yet, the quiz is going to tell you exactly what your profile is saying about you. Because sometimes we think, I've done all the things, like, why am I attracting what I'm attracting? And sometimes we think our profile is saying one thing and it's actually saying something else and telegraphing something else to the people who see it. And so that's going to be part of the class is developing a profile that does the vetting for you so you can connect with your person. If you want to find out what your profile is saying about you, go to bit.ly dating profile quiz, totally free. The results are free. Precious says, I'm liking your perspective. I don't have fatigue from dating apps because I am not on them at all. I was successful on Craigslist in 2010. Haven't come back. I hear that. Well, P, hopefully you'll consider going on the dating apps. And it's definitely not something that I force people to do or push people to do, but it's one of the, I would say, if not the most effective way to meet people for dating in these modern dating streets. And a lot of people struggle with it, and a lot of people are anti apps because of the struggles that they've had. But that's just because they don't know how to do the profile in a way that makes it work, that makes it fun. It's supposed to be fun. A lot like social media is supposed to be fun, but people, do things that make it not so fun. But we're going to work all that out, my sweetheart. That's why we reconnected. That's why you found me. Me and Precious go way back, y'all. Way back to New York City and Harlem and 132nd Street. And so that's it, my loves. If you come later, feel free to leave questions, interact with me. I will interact throughout the day in the comments. I'll be back tomorrow. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, Hack the Dating Apps, please come over and do that. Bring your friends who are on the apps that want to figure it out and want to actually attract a healthy, loving relationship. I'm Candace Harper. I get exceptional Black and brown women into loving relationships with emotionally intelligent men. And so that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. And take care of yourself. Have a good night. Think about what I've said. Take a moment to write down your core values and get super clear and think about how you can be aligning with those core values as consistently as possible. All right, Facebook. Mwah. All right, Instagram. Mwah. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I got to turn off one at a time, so give me that moment to be an old lady. Bye now.